that comes with it. And that is the part that is more important as well.
With bated breath, Nigerians await the verdicts of the 2023 Presidential Election Petition Court after parties adopted their written addresses ahead of the judgment of the courts. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has warned against distracting the judiciary from doing justice to the petitions. In a statement signed by the head of Obi-Datti Media Office, Diran Onifade, he said some of the happenings around the judiciary lately are absolutely needless and utterly unacceptable. They've adopted their last, what do they call it?
Written address.
Written addresses, all the political parties that were involved in this thing. And any moment from now, the court will communicate a date for the judgment proper. So they've gone, everybody.
I think they still have to address the open court.
Okay. After the.
They still have to address
the open court. The lawyers, that's their written this thing. They have to make that submission.
Yes.
Okay. I think if they do that this week.
Because some of what your opponent has said, you need to get
given the opportunity to counter it.
The judgment won't come immediately. They still have time. But
it's called cross-examination. Cross-examination.
No, is that
no?
No. When you fight and they say something about it, then you come back. That's a certain issue that to be asked.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I know that they will still ask questions about what you said in your own final address.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
The party will be able to react.
So we've not reached the point where you can say they are waiting for judgment.
Okay.
No. And they still have a bit of time. So,
but I think till September 10 for the 180 days.
They will still come and address the court. I think what Obi-Datti should do is talk to their own members while talking to members of other parties, because it will be hypocritical of them to claim not to know that some of what Peter Obi has even complained about, you got to blame their members for some of it. The blame has got to be shared, and there is no way you can exculpate the Obi-Datti group from some of what is happening. Remember when the judgment in respect of the vice president's alleged double nomination came up? Justice Okoro accused some people of using the social media to intimidate and call judges' names. The man who could not win his polling unit in Zaria famously went on television to tell judges not to even show up at the inauguration ground. You remember? He looked into the camera and was saying that the CJN and others should not go to the inauguration ground.
That's an official responsibility.
That if they did it, that they should not inaugurate an illegal president. So it's like when Nigerian politicians, the more you look at them, the less you see. There's an attempt to make it look like, oh, we are the chaste people, we are the Puritans, we are the ones whose hands are clean. But we have never had an election in which bad blood has been demonstrated on social media as this one. And the Obi-Datti group cannot claim that it is clean, because we've had people who even told Obi, why don't you talk to your people? So this thing about intimidating judges, distracting judges, those who, I'm happy that he mentioned, or that they mentioned what some people claimed happened, that a judge retired. I mean, decided to resign because they wanted to force him to give judgment to someone in the executive. And in writing it, they said believed to be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If that is not distraction to the judiciary, what else can be defined as distraction? That thing was not true. But the way it was written, reading it, you would think that it was true. Even me, with all my years in the print media, I looked at the thing, I was almost wrong-footed. So I was just waiting. Then later they said, no, this thing didn't happen.
But no judge resigned.
No judge resigned. Now, I was shocked. Apart from that, they also claimed that Bola Tinubu and the CJN, that they spoke on phone. Before then, remember, they claimed that Bola Tinubu and the CJN had a meeting in abroad.
Yes.
At the time when they claimed that that meeting was taking place, the man was even attending mosque here in Abuja. It was photographed attending
from
mosque.
His office.
They didn't stop at that. They claimed that Wike took some judges on the same panel, and they took them abroad for the purpose of bribing them. Who is that judge in the thick of this their work, who will leave the work and then travel abroad?
Politician.
So those are the things happening. Now, because of the desperation, I think some people have misled themselves to believe that judges determine how they rule on matters before them based on what they read in the newspapers. Judges are supposed to decide matters based on law, based on point of law, not what we are saying about ourselves. We can argue among ourselves. It's our opinion. It shouldn't bother judges, but somehow these politicians have come to the conclusion that, look, if we say put this in the paper, it will affect how these cases are determined. That is what is leading to all of this. When Olanipekun said, if Tinubu is denied the presidency, or the presidency is taken away from him just because he didn't get 25% in Abuja, that absurdity could lead to chaos, to anarchy. But in interpreting what he said, including their agents in the print media, what they've been saying is that he said if it is legally taken off Tinubu, that if the Presidential Petition Tribunal legally takes the mandate away from Tinubu, that it will lead to chaos. The question to ask is, if I win 36 states, and I'm very confident that this matter will be resolved by during this trial. If I win all 36 states and I don't win, and I don't win Abuja, or I didn't score 25% in Abuja, does it make any sense to take my victory away from me? I think that was the point that the man was trying to make. But again, it was twisted. So I'm just, as I said in the course of last week, I'm just waiting for this, for time to, for this matter to be resolved so that we can have our senses back. Because this is just terrible.
Sikian, since 1999, I have not seen still by a lot of people are looking forward to what the courts will say about a presidential election. The election was keenly contested. After the contest, you see, had attention shifted to the courts. And it seems the judiciary is so much under pressure.
Yes, the judiciary is under pressure, but this is not the first time. So those of us, today we know what I'm talking about. We had a similar case in 1979. Ayo, you'll be very young then. Ayo, you were young. Today you know what I'm talking about. Yes, of course now. You were very young. People are saying this is the what happened in 1979. If you remember vividly when we were still it was more tense than this. It was. I'm telling you.
Between Awolowo and
definitely it was. When we are talking about the 19th state and the 2/3 of 19 and the rest, almost similar to what is happening.
Professor Chike Obi.
Chike Obi. Yeah. This also happened. But we are students of history.
My hands are tied.
Very similar because in that case too, we have three parties who are strong.
Yes.
Quite strong. Four parties.
Four parties. Even five. If you say PRP,
PRP too.
UPN, NPP, PRP, and GRP. Five of them. Very, very strong in their own right. In their own, like in Kano, you cannot say anything about anything without PRP in Kano.
Talakawa party.
Very, very strong. GNPP with Waziri Ibrahim. So it was almost the similar thing. We were very young then. I was in primary school, but at least I had a friend idea. But back to what we were talking about. I think what is happening now is that it cuts across every party, at least the three leading parties, APC, PDP, Labour Party. What is happening is that people are moving this issue from court to court of public opinion, what you call court of public opinion, which most often than not does not necessarily count. Just as Jesus said, in law we are taught that a judge can only give judgment based on evidence before it, nothing more, nothing less. In fact, even if a judge cannot add or subtract from what evidence has been put, and that is the case. Or else, in law, that is what we call descending into the arena. In law, a judge cannot descend into the arena. But let us look at the issues. Some of the submissions made so far. The APC, the Labour Party, through a council, is saying that Tinubu and Shetima should be, the result should be annulled, and they should back from. P2B should be declared the winner of the election. But Tinubu council, in their own, said, let us even assume that this election is cancelled. If there's going to be a rerun, that Labour Party should not be part of that rerun. It is going to be between Atiku and their council was able to put up some certain institutions, like justifying it through section 134, subsection 2, subsection 3, subsection 4, which states that if there is going to be a rerun, it is the person that came first and second that will qualify to be part of that. That Peter Obi cannot and should not be part of that. That is the position of the APC. Now, they went for that to say that if you also look at it from the point of the highest vote won, in terms of highest vote, it was tabulated. President Tinubu had 8 million, Atiku had 6.9, P2B has 6 point. That also shows that P2B is nowhere near a rerun, if that's what there's going to be there. Then, thirdly, it also went ahead to say that if you also look at the winner of the two-thirds in the states, that Tinubu had the majority in about 19 states. Atiku in about 16. When you're looking at Obi, so those are the things canvas. But finally, the P2B councils are saying, don't say that
disqualified Tinubu
outrightly. Remove him. So that the race will be between. So you can see that. So this is where the court of the tribunal will now come. But on the final note, they also stated, let me also give it. On the final note, they also stated, that is the Labour Party, that look at what happened in Kenya. That there was an election that was annulled, where President Uhuru Kenyatta was declared winner, and Raila Odinga went to court.
Yes, Raila Odinga.
Yes, and there was a run. But let me put that, when there was that rerun, it was only the two major highest listings that came. So, but let us wait and see what the tribunal is going to give. And this is going to be a demonstration for this judiciary, because you know why? A lot of people of late don't seem to have so much confidence in our judiciary. And I would think that this is a situation where they can be able to redeem this thing. But let's wait and continue to wait and see what will happen at the end of the day.
All right, moving on now. For a country